Oh, I guess it's too late. Maybe it's not. Anyway, I don't think we walked you through the co-streaming shtick. Anyway, we're live.
We're live. Here we go.
Don't worry. I'll reshare it. We'll get this everywhere. You know, we're going to have some fun.
Awesome.
Dude, so I was stoked because you were just talking about this Wolverine Deadpool mask that you made. And yeah, I'm a huge Wolverine fan. That's awesome.
I'll pop it up over there.
So that's a 3D printed Wolverine Deadpool mask.
It is, yeah. And then my son and I painted it. So we got that up there. Dude, I mean, you talk about Wolverine. Now, see, we're going to get, you know, we've got like this 3D print that my son made, which is Deadpool and Wolverine. Tell me if you love Wolverine. Here's the Lego that my kids got me for.
Cool.
You know, so
when I was a kid, it's fun. So I grew up, I learned how to read with comics because I really had reading problems and learning problems. And so I could read words in the thought bubbles and the speech bubbles, whereas I had a hard time reading a whole bunch of words on a page without it all just swimming and me spacing out or whatever. And so I grew up, like, I really learned how to read with comic books. And there was this comic book store in Lebanon, New Hampshire, near where my dad's dental office was. It was called Club Comics. Okay. And I used to go down to Club Comics. And I remember I was like, had it been junior high, like 5th grade, 6th grade, and they had this Wolverine t-shirt. And it was extra large. And I was a very thin, skinny, I still am very skinny, you know, like, and so I had this extra large Wolverine shirt. I still have it. I wore it like all throughout my childhood. And then at Club Comics, I won a contest. I won the Heroes for the 90s Say What contest. I filled out these bubbles on this photocopied comic book cover.
Yeah.
And the writer and the inker for the original Guardians of the Galaxy comic book came out and took me out to a steak dinner, and it was awesome.
That's cool. Yeah. No, man, dude, we could go deep on comics. I mean, Deadpool's always been that guy for me, just because of the fact that he's like the anti-hero. You know, being able to go in, like, because look, we all can't be the perfect hero out there, but you know, and we have to be able to own our mistakes and just do the right things, right? But sometimes it's seems like you're doing the wrong shit for the right reasons.
That's right.
You know, so it's fun. And you know, you talk about that. Yeah, I grew up. Across the street from me and Houston was a guy was a comic book designer for one of the Marvel or DC. I can't remember exactly which one. So I grew up. I mean, I remember he just come over and I had a huge trunk full of comic books, right? Like that's how many comics he would just drop off with me and stuff like that. I saved a lot of them. I'm like, oh, these are going to be worth. And now I went back like a couple of years ago and I'm like, dude, I got this issue. And they're like, that's a reprint. I'm like, okay. So he, you know, but it's, you know, like Rory and I were talking earlier too, like recently in the last year, I met probably now, I didn't even know who he was, but now I mean, probably someone that's been very influential in my life that I didn't even realize who's Gareb Shamus. He's like the founder of Comic-Con, and we become really good friends. And it's been really cool.
I met him in a meeting a few years ago.
Nice. Yeah. Dude, Gareb is the nicest guy in the world. And I mean, it's crazy to be able to hear his story and just how he talks about just random people, you know, like Thor, you know, Chris Hemsworth and stuff like that. Right. So it's really, you know, I can kind of geek out on that stuff. But, you know, we can sit here and talk about comic books. Rory wanted to talk about my shoes. Tell me, what do we really want to talk about today, though?
Yeah, what we really want to talk about is how we can help you get more shit done. And that means how we can help you as our special guest get more shit done, and how we can help our audience, our viewers, to get more shit done. Maybe we'll help Rory get some more shit done in the process. We'll see. But, you know, I mean, you've been an entrepreneur for a long time. Actually, you know what I like to start off with? We already started off with some pretty positive stuff, but I like to start off the session with a positive focus. I learned that in Strategic Coach from Dan Sullivan back in the day. What are you happiest or most excited about in your life right now?
Man, you know, I'm a new dad again at 46. So that's pretty amazing, right? Like honestly, I was very scared. My daughter's now 16 months. Yeah. So, you know, but it's still like an amazing experience. So like I've got a 15-year-old, I got a 12-year-old, and now I got a 16-month-old, right? Like, so I'll tell you, scared as all get out when it was about to happen. And now, dude, it really is amazing. It's such a different experience being a dad now, older, wiser, hopefully got out of all my dumb shit out of the way, you know. And
good luck with that. Yeah, if you get all your dumb shit out of the way, you let me know.
No, I mean, because I still have a mohawk. So, you know, most people, when I make my videos, you'd be amazed at maybe not how many people they don't even look at the message. They'll be like, "Get a real haircut, guy." And I'm like, thank you for your feedback.
Yeah,
but, you know, that's the cool thing. And the other aspect, Telman, I'll tell you that I'm super excited about as an entrepreneur. We've all been there, man. We have all these shiny objects, and I don't know about you two, but like me, I have so many ideas that, and if I don't have my person to help me take them to fruition, because I'm a quick start,
right?
They start and then they go off in the ethers, right? And they're gone,
right.
And now with AI, dude, like and people go, "Oh, you've got AI, like you're probably it's helping you work less." Actually, I'm working more because I'm being able to get so many things done because it's an amazing tool. And it's actually, I'm being able to take projects that I only, you know, thought about because I was running my company and I didn't have the time to do it. Now I'm actually taking them to the next step. And dude, it's such a fun time right now as a human being with the power that we have to create.
It's true. It's true. I mean, especially for the visionaries, you know, if you can think big enough to use the tool at a greater capacity, at a greater level than you currently are, then you know you're on your way.
Yeah.
What about you, Rory? What are you stoked about this morning?
Wow, good question. Stoked about a lot of things, but I am going to be cheeseball and say I am stoked about today's conversation. As Joshua was saying, I've started watching some of his reels and I've seen his sneaker collection, which is insanely impressive. I won't focus on this too much, but he's got one pair that I've seen valued somewhere around $35,000 to $50,000, and he's looking right at it. Wait, yeah, I think you had it right. The yellow lobster.
You're talking about this one or that one?
The yellow. Well, I can't see it right now, but the yellow lobster.
We've got the yellow lobsters,
which is $30,000 to $50,000 sneaker on the resale market.
Now,
here's that style.
We don't really show these on camera that much, but have you seen these before?
Oh my God, you mother. Yeah, wow.
My wife won't really let me wear them because she's like, dude, you look like a tool.
Yeah. You know. That's like, Telman, just to give you an idea, like all I literally said to him on one of his videos was nice flex. Like, I don't even want to, like that pair of shoes, I won't even say how much they go for right now.
Yeah, because then it just pisses people off sometimes too. So, you know.
So Joshua's stoked about AI. Rory's stoked about Joshua's shoes.
No, I'm excited to talk to him as well, not just his shoes.
I see. You've got serious shoe envy going on, Rory. It's just like
how we actually bring it all together, Telman, because you were really stoked about, you know, we were talking about, you know, comic books and growing up, and Rory's talking about shoes. Yeah. I hadn't done before. I've got a pair of the Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse Air Jordan 1s coming in for my son, I think this week. So nice. It's kind of blending the two together. So, you know, there we go.
That's
nice.
Right. That's right. So, well, dude, when you Joshua, when you say you're using AI to take your ideas to the next stage,
yeah,
let's back up for a second. I want to know how many people are in your company, what it takes to run the company, and then where all these ADD ideas come into play in a useful way, so they don't just become distractions and or resource suckers. You know,
you're right.
So how many people are involved in your company, and what does it take for you to run it? Like, what do you actually do as an entrepreneur in your business at this point?
I mean, Telman, great question, brother. Yeah, and you know, right now we have a little bit under 20 people working at the company right now.
Oh, I didn't know you had that many people. All right.
Yeah, and it's because the fact that we've really had to grow and scale. I mean, the opportunity, I'm blessed that, for the last 10 years, you've known me and you've
Yeah.
heard me, I'm like LinkedIn this and LinkedIn that, and everyone's like, cool, yeah, like, yeah, I'm not looking for a job, but all of a sudden 2025 came around and everyone's going, hey, Josh, dude, that platform, LinkedIn you were talking about. I'm like, yeah, it's been around for 20 years. Yeah. And
Right.
pretty awesome. And so like, and so it's really picked up. And I mean, we've had opportunities. I mean, I'll be telling you, dude, it's a blessing just because, again, I didn't have the corporate background. Like, I've been an entrepreneur for 20 years, like,
Right.
really cool to be able to say things like, MySpace was one of my first clients. Like, I helped them design one of the first social media ads to monetize their traffic. But the shift to where we're at now, like, I'm blessed, dude. I get to work with a lot of our friends, from Joe Polish to Dan Sullivan, Peter Diamantes. I mean, I've worked with, lots of those other entrepreneurs that are out there. I mean, we could go through a lot of different names that I get to help them educate, inspire, and draw on their audience and create a visual personal brand that doesn't sell. It really creates advocates first and allows that byproduct to become clients. It's the shift that you and I grew up selling. We knew, hey, we know how to market. We can go through, we've got our tripwires, we got all this stuff.
Right.
And I've changed it to go, we live in a post-COVID world where people are looking to be able to have trust more than anything. And they want to know the people behind the brand. And so being able to do that, it's been amazing. And with my wife coming in about 4 years ago from the corporate world, who is a badass in her own right, Rachel actually just helped us land one of our biggest opportunities ever. We are now working with AWS, Fortune 10 company, to be able to go through and humanize their brand, right? Wow. People don't know that over the last 5 years, they've been hiring some of the best C-level executives from very, very well-known brands across the globe. And they just got them sitting in their back pocket. And then finally they saw what we were doing on LinkedIn, and Rachel had worked with one of the people previously, like, hey, we want to highlight these human beings. They're freaking amazing. And we want to be able to do it on a platform like LinkedIn. And so, like, that's the thing. Like, it's finally clicked in that people understand brands are great, but people want to know, hey, who are the people that are running these things? I want to know if I align with them. And so, like, because of that, and because of an opportunity like AWS, we've had to be able to understand how to scale not only with human beings, because again, you can't use a tool like AI. Everyone, AI is a tool. It's not a replacement. Without having the right human beings to run it. And so, like, that's why we've been leveling up. And that's where I've been spending my time, Telman, is I'm blessed to have an amazing team. Rachel pretty much runs the company at this point in time. And I'm getting to be able to understand how to be able to take us to the next level and optimize the time for my team to be able to do more without actually adding more heads.
Right. Cool. So how then are you using AI specifically to more effectively go from 150, 10, new ideas that pop through your brain into bringing more of those another step forward? Like, what practically speaking, for ADD entrepreneurs out there who are struggling to get traction and trying to get more things out of their head and into reality, what are some practical tips you have to do that?
Yeah. I mean, Tillman, here's the thing. The first thing I want everyone to understand is when you actually go into AI, if you don't take the time, energy, and effort, like, you need to take longer training and teaching the AI who you are, what you do, who you serve, more than you actually spend getting it to give you responses back. And this is the biggest mistake I think everyone makes. Like, if I want AI to be able to help me be able to optimize what I'm doing, if it doesn't know what I'm doing, if it doesn't know sometimes my revenue, what we're at, right? How many clients I have. First thing we do with any client, first thing I do with myself is I go in, and yes, I paid the $200 a month for, ChatGPT Pro, and I use deep research, and not only being able to upload everything I have about myself, I actually do a massive deep research, and I build an AI persona, not only on myself, but my company. That's where I start from. Right. And now I can actually go through and ask it questions based on, hey, here's the different ideas. Here's everything you know about me. what do you think are the biggest opportunities right now for me to take advantage of that maybe I'm not thinking about? Here's my team. Here's what they can do, right? Like I've given it all this information. If I don't train it about every person in my company, every aspect of what I do, it can't help me. It's just going to give me, like you said, it's going to give us more work to do.
Right. Interesting.
So that's how we're doing.
But specifically, like, let's say we've got a solopreneur. Let's say that they're an internet solopreneur. Maybe they're full-time. Maybe they have a virtual assistant, right?
Right.
They're trying to get more shit done. They're trying to kick it into high gear. So how specifically can somebody use AI in order to, for example, and maybe I'm going down the wrong path. Maybe this is now you're using it, but how can we use AI in order to attract more people to us on LinkedIn for, or to build a sales funnel?
Let's do that. That's easy. That's an easy answer, right? Like on LinkedIn, like I'm going to give you all a secret. So it is March 26th. We're 3 months into the year. So far this year, last year, I think I did, let's just say we're trying to attract, right? Attract people is branding, right? Branding and marketing. It's not closing, right? Closing is a whole, sales is a different aspect. People mix those two things up all the time. So on the branding and marketing side, I need to get visibility and interaction with my content.
That's right.
Last year on LinkedIn, maybe I played around with a little bit with AI on how it was actually going. I did about 1 million impressions last year on my content, right? And look, that's not a lot. That's good for a year. So far right now, Tillman, I'm at 10 million impressions this year.
Okay.
Organically.
Okay.
Engagement and opportunity, right? Like all these things are coming in. We're actually closing more opportunity. Like, and how I'm doing this are twofold, right? I'm able to go through and use AI to be able to understand, once I teach it who my audience is, what's going on, help me be able to put out at least structures for content. But the cooler thing is, so Instagram, TikTok, X, I still have a hard time saying X. As the three old guys here, we're like Twitter, let's just be whatever it is.
Here's where I struggle. I've gotten to where I can call it X, but I'm struggling to make that switch from tweet to post, right? Because Twitter
is it post now? I wasn't sure if it's Xing. I mean, like, dude,
but it would make sense that it's not X and tweet. Like, did you see my latest tweet on X? What?
Who knows?
Maybe it's a Twix.
I'll have to ask my kids how it actually works. I like Twix. We're gonna start
Twix on X.
But guys, like for those, right? We look for, if you want to be able to understand how to be able to get attention, we have to look at trending hashtags, what's going on in the world, and then be able to create our content growth mindset, right? Not fixed. Fixed mindset is being able to teach people the way that you feel they should learn. Growth mindset is finding something they're interested in and being able to attach and integrate your teachings into what they're interested in right now. Because again, we know everyone has very short attention spans. On LinkedIn, there's a cool thing in the right-hand corner. It's called LinkedIn News. On the desktop, not the mobile, LinkedIn News top, it tells you everything. Like if I'm gonna go look at it right now, just really quickly to see. It tells me everything that is trending right now on the news. We live in a world of 24/7 news. They're always looking for more information. LinkedIn is the #1 trusted platform in the country right now, right? So like, if we're going to be able to go in there, we have to be able to understand how do we do this. Now, Tillman, Roy, you and I have been doing that. We've all been doing this for a long time. Do y'all remember back in the day, newsjacking?
I remember the term. You did like. I guess I don't really know what newsjacking is. I mean, I could make a guess. I could make a guess, but I've never used that term before.
So people used to use it. There used to be a lot of email play around newsjacking and blogs and things like that, because that's what's going on. I do it in a slightly different way. So one of the biggest things is LinkedIn News. I can go through and I'm like looking on the right-hand side here. I have this, you want to make sure that it aligns with your audience, right? So I mean, there's different moves. Google unveils new Gemini AI model. I right now know that news story was put out 3 hours ago, and there's already 9,217 readers.
Right.
So I know it's popular. Now I talk about AI on LinkedIn all the time. Now, am I going to go through and go, oh, wait, there's more readers for the Dollar Tree to sell to Family Dollar? There's 12,000 readers for that. No, because it doesn't align with my audience. And this is the problem, is most people put out content to put on a show. And it's not about being able to put on a show. It's about being able to connect with your audience and be able to connect based on, like, dude, we've all seen the people like, I'm going to teach you how to make 7 figures, and they've never made 7 figures. So how can you teach someone how to freaking do that if you've never done it yourself? So like Google Invest, I'm going to go through and I can use AI because I've already taught it about my voice, and I can go, hey, here's the news story right now. I need you to be able to help me create an outline for a video script, because video's popping on LinkedIn right now. That's between 60 seconds and 90 seconds. And I need to make sure that it's in my voice tonality. It's covering the news, and it integrates everything we stand for at Standard Authority. By doing this, it's going, wow, it talks about the news story. It allows me to be able to talk in my voice, and I can be able to do a video 5 minutes. It takes me from start to finish, grabbing the news clip. I've already taught AI my voice, what my company does, all those things, that thing that I talked about earlier, right? Teaching it everything about you and your business. And it gives me the script. I pop it into teleprompter. It gives me the right pieces that I need to make. I can't read a script. Let me tell y'all, like, let's just be honest, but at least keeps me in the right frame. I go off script like crazy. So if the teleprompter is going too fast, like, I'm like, fuck, okay, we got to go through. But like, it just keeps me in line on what I want to talk about and how to be able to align that audience. And like, it really is amazing, Tillman, because now it's putting me in front of the people. It's putting me in front of my audience, and it's allowing me to get my message in something that is important to people right now, but getting my face. Like, I've been shown to, when I look at the hours, y'all, 10 million views, the hours, I think the last time I looked at it, it equaled up to over, if someone watched my videos for 3 months straight, 24/7. Like, think about that. That's opportunity. That's connection. And that's using AI. That's taking me 5 minutes to make these video clips and be able to go in. And it doesn't just have to be on LinkedIn, but that's where LinkedIn really works.
So for you right now, the long and short of it is, you're using AI to outline content for short video clips, so you can bang out a lot more hyper relevant short video clips.
Yeah.
And the important part of all of this, which you mentioned earlier, which I think you blew through it pretty quickly, but is you're really taking the time to train AI and to teach AI about you, about your business, about everything you can possibly think of to get AI up to speed. It's just like training an employee. You know, people will hire a freelancer and throw in some money and then be pissed when the freelancer doesn't give them what they want, right? And because they didn't take the time to ask clearly for what they want, or to make sure that the freelancer is up to speed with the same types of background and training and perspective on looking at the world or business as you and all these things. And so if you actually put the time, the effort, and the energy into bringing the AI up to speed, all of a sudden it can think on a much, much, much higher level for you, and then really speed up that content creation process.
That's it. And that's the whole thing. This is why people get pissed off all the time. Like, oh, I know when it's AI content, because guess what? They didn't do what I do, right? Like, and it's not, I'm not going to do word for word for what they do. AI will get me 80 to 90% of the way there. This is why I have 20 people working for me, right? That are amazing editors or amazing writers, because that 10 to 20%, that's where the magic happens. That's what makes you, that's what connects you with your audience. The other stuff's just information, right? And so like, that's that whole piece, brother. And, you know, if you looked at my AI personas that I create, not only for myself, but my clients, if I've created an AI persona for you or Rory, y'all, they're 50 pages long. 90% of the time when I create about who you are, what you stand for, your vocabulary, the words you use, the words you don't use, your company, your family, all these things, what you love, what you don't, all these aspects go into that report. And it's about 50 pages long. I guarantee you there's not many people. This is why the people that I mentioned earlier, companies like AWS, companies like Oracle, other companies that we work with, this is why they trust us, because we do our due diligence on the front end side. And I only learned that because I've already screwed myself in the past with other companies that I built. Where, I mean, dude, I was in Vegas one time with a buddy of mine. He just sold his company for $25 million. It was like, hey, I'll sell you the source code for $3 million. I'm like, hell yeah, we're in Vegas. You know, we're basically doing the who's bigger, right? You know, we use proper language there, you know, and that almost cost me $10 million over the next year because I didn't do my due diligence. Like, oh, well, because I realized all the source code was all duct taped together. It was perfect for that sale, but it wasn't for me.
Right.
And so like real world experiences have made me an expert at due diligence prior, now in the AI space.
Yeah. So I gotta back up. There's like so many questions I have for you. And I apologize if I missed this because I did have to step away for like 30 seconds.
You missed the most important 30 seconds of this episode.
Talked about how I get my hair so high, Rory. Come on.
I don't have that problem. Yeah. So you like, obviously you've done a lot with LinkedIn. That's certainly how I know you, or what I know about you. I've seen your videos on Facebook because I spend my time on Facebook.
Yeah.
What you've described about the videos that you have created for you, that you put on LinkedIn, is that where you're primarily seeing the traction, or are you seeing the traction on other platforms as well?
I'm seeing traction on, I mean, look, if you're going to do newsjacking, there's the two platforms that I see, and I hate to use that word. It's just what people know it as, or I know it as. It sounds so just, you know, negative, but it's really growth mindset teaching.
Yeah.
Basically concentrating on what people are aligned with right now. And so the other platform I see it on, TikTok.
Okay.
I mean, Instagram, yeah, we get some Facebook. I mean, look, maybe you guys have a better chance. Like when I post stuff about my family on Facebook and we go through, amazing. I can drop gems, freaking nuggets of education on LinkedIn, give free things away. And it's crickets. So,
well,
I mean, like
compared to what it used to be, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So like, I don't know what I'm missing there. I could learn a hell of a lot from y'all. Because I mean, again, a good friend of ours, like, you know, David Gonzalez, he basically told me, he's like, dude, you know what you got to do? You got to go on there and, you know, do a paid ad on Facebook talking about LinkedIn and how you can help people get all this massive traffic and what you do over there. I go, yeah, dude, but I hate those people that are like, I'll get free leads all the time on LinkedIn and I never have to spend a dime. And it's like, then why are you paying on Facebook?
Right.
Like if you get all this free ads, free traffic on LinkedIn, why are you paying on, like, why waste your money? And he's like, dude, you got to go in there. Like, I hate these people. I'm only putting my ad here because I don't want you to miss out because you're not over there.
Right.
So it's positioning. I get it. But like, it's amazing advice that David gave me one time.
Dude, so yeah, it is brilliant advice. I would double down on that. And I want to also let you know that I'm one of those people. And I'd like to say, as of like the last couple of weeks, I'm no longer that harsh of a person. And I'm using that for me, not you. Yeah. Like I used to see people, you know, post, you know, here's, you know, they'd be running ads. Here are my 3 best organic posts that bring me in leads and clients every day. And it's like, awesome. If it's so great, go do it over there.
Right.
And I think that was largely because, if you don't know this about me, Joshua, I am all in on paid ads. Like I am literally the hammer to a nail. If you have a problem, it can be solved with paid ads.
Right.
And I'm going to share something I just did yesterday that I never thought I'd admit. I turned off my paid ads promoting my free daily newsletter because right now I am getting more leads organically than what I'm getting from paid. And I had to make a decision with my ad budget to go, is the juice worth the squeeze? And right now it's not.
Right.
Yeah.
And I have hated organic largely because I didn't understand it.
Yeah.
And now I'm starting to understand it and going, Holy crap. In fact, there was another guy I spoke with, I want to say earlier this year. His whole shtick is organic. I introduced him to Tellman. He's got, in my opinion, a great strategy for building organic in a really, really cool way.
Yeah.
And he doesn't do paid. And I'm like, you need to do paid. Because while you can reach people with organic, something I did learn from Tellman, told me a long time ago, a launch, like when you do these 7-figure launches, they're not a silver bullet. They're literally a megaphone.
Yeah.
If your offer sucks, it's just going to suck louder and bigger with a launch.
That's right.
Right. So I'm sharing this with you because it's something I just went through, and I think, you know, you can relate to it, dude. I would encourage you, run some paid stuff, even if it's just promoting to get your videos in front of other people.
Yeah. No. And I mean, like, look, you know, y'all tell me this, our good friend that, you know, last time I was on, I kind of commented in, you know, Kurt Molly, love him to death. You know, they're always telling me it's just, you know, now that I have some time, you know, to be able to do it 100%. Right. And, you know, and I'm very blessed to have amazing friends like y'all to be able to give me this advice. Not everyone has that. And so like, I hope people are listening in to these kind of conversations because like, you know, most people don't get that. Like one of the biggest things, you know, Rory, that when you talk about like, dude, my entire first part of my career was paid advertising. Like I've probably monetized over $1 billion in paid ads throughout the earliest part of my career. Now, look, we're talking like earlier. I was doing the XML feeds, right? Like a little bit different, you know, working with companies like Overture before they became Yahoo and Google and all. Yeah. You know, I know I can say these things. You guys get this. Like it's way back. You know, if I say MySpace, depending on the audience, people might not even know what I'm talking about. I mean, even though, I don't know if y'all heard, Napster just got sold for 200 million or something like that.
7 million. I cannot wrap my head around it. And like someone posted that yesterday. I'm like, how, why? And a buddy of mine who I respect, really, really smart marketer, was like, I have the app on my phone. And I'm like, hold on, let me send you the carrier pigeon. What's your pager number? Are you still listening to the Sony CD Walkman with anti-skip? Like Napster is so foreign to me. Yeah. But yet 207 million. Like that's.
And look, MySpace sold a whole bunch of different times too before it finally kind of went away. I mean, it changed. Most of us had no clue what it was doing on the backside. Right. But you know, like this is that whole piece. Like, but when we go into like that's that paid, and I of course when it hit me too, I was like, okay, we got to have an ad with Justin Timberlake from the Facebook movie, you know, popping in there. You know, remember he was like the founder of Napster, if you guys remember that movie and stuff like that. Anyways, back to like for me organically. Here's the thing, Rory. If you post and just go, look up in the sky and go, okay, find me. Yeah. Like, look, organic's never going to work for you. Yeah. Like, this is the problem. We live in a world that there's so much freaking noise, right? And if we're just posting organically and just making more noise, like content's not king anymore. It's quality is queen. Like being able to actually go through and actually create quality content that is polarizing in a good way, that creates people to love or hate you, because that's how we make decisions. You just create content for content's sake, just adding the noise. Now, next step of that, and tell them like, feel free, add in anywhere, brother. But like for us, I built our engagement engine. That's what we do. And that's how we create opportunity on LinkedIn. Now, y'all, it's just the things that my mom taught me how to treat other human beings.
Right.
I'm just doing it online.
Right.
Like it's not rocket science. And I think that's what we're bringing as entrepreneurs. We overcomplicate shit. Like I'm trying to just bring it back to just the human algorithm, the basics that we're innately know and feel and react to. So like for me on LinkedIn, there's 3 different ways, and I'll lay this out for y'all and we can kind of go into it. Is first and foremost, I hate cold calling. I hate cold email. So I don't want to do it to somebody else. Yeah. Like, could I? Do I know how to make money? Yeah. I can spam 1,000 people, get into one sale, piss off 999 people. Cool. I can make money that way. You know, eventually I'm going to ruin my personal brand. I've seen people do it. They change their name every 6 months.
Right.
But what we do is I look for trigger points on LinkedIn. The trigger points are, did someone look at my profile? Did someone engage in my content? Or I can use Sales Navigator, which is their built-in CRM system. And did my ideal audience that I can identify over there post online in the last 30 days? The reason why we do that last one is the average person gets less than 1% engagement on LinkedIn. Our clients get between 10 and 15% engagement. Not bragging, but you know,
You are
It's
bragging.
because of
what do you mean
it's because of
bragging?
conditioning.
What kind of crap is that? You're totally bragging.
Yeah, but it's a good brag though.
I fully agree. I'm not saying
Yeah.
don't brag. I'm not.
Yeah,
I didn't tell you were either. I'm saying it to the audience, Tillman.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
But so here's the thing, y'all. We have to create a stopgap in everyone's pattern. The human algorithm that we've been trained and conditioned over the last 20 years just to like, comment, share, post, like, comment, share, post. They're all caught in this pattern. They want just lemmings, right? Just to keep on going around this path. That's what social media wants. That's how they make their money. Well, as marketers, we know we have to create a stopgap in their pattern. Best thing I ever figured out too was, again, during COVID, like, dude, it was like, appreciate the things we take for granted every single day. What do we take for granted on most social platforms? LinkedIn, I can see everyone looks at my profile. Oh, dude, Tillman, I saw you looked at my profile. I just want to take 2 seconds out. Thank you for looking me up, man. Love to find out what pushed you to check me out, right? Starting a conversation.
All right, hold on. So we have a long list of questions if you guys are up for doing a rapid fire question series. But first, I want to know. So one of my biggest challenges with social media has always been, I don't really like being social on social media. Like, and so when I have free time, I don't find myself going like naturally. I don't find myself drawn toward liking and commenting on other people's stuff, or even, I don't even scroll in social that much. I mean, I do to some degree, but I don't. And
Neither
so
do I.
I've found that it's internally anyway, for me, it's always been, it felt like a chore to go and consistently engage with humans on social media. And I have to like force myself to do it. I've gotten better at it over the years, but still,
I'm not telling you to do it 1,000 times a day, Tillman.
Well, that's what I want to know is, how do you, like, whether it's from a timing or scheduling or consistency, how do you get yourself? What are you doing, Rory?
I'm trying, dude. I'm fuzzy on camera. Stop being so ADD.
Yeah, go get some toilet paper and wipe that off. Get some Windex.
Yeah,
I'm gonna lift the lens, wipe it off with your sleeve. You'll be fine.
I'm gonna stop the camera for a minute. Don't push me into the waiting room this time.
Oh, I'm gonna push you into the waiting room.
No, don't do that. Let
you
Josh
deserve to be in the waiting room, Rory.
Here. It's like Abbott and Costello right now.
That's right. All right. So Joshua, but in all seriousness, when you're on LinkedIn or any social platform as you, as a real human, as you, how much time do you put into interacting, researching, connecting, commenting, sharing other people's content and all this kind of stuff? Do you do it in your free time? Do you do it in scheduled blocks? Do you love it
5 minutes before I post and 5 minutes after I post?
That's it.
Because again, on LinkedIn, if you just think that you're going to post and like not give back to the system, that the platform looks at, are you engaging on someone else's? So I want to make sure I get the system ready. I kind of, like start your car in the morning, got to give it a little gas when it's cold out, get it going, prime the engine. And when it goes, I want to keep that engine going after I post. So then I'm going to engage on 5 other people that, are for 5 minutes on a couple other people's posts. Right. And so that's where it actually primes the system. That's where I spend most of my time, like total of like 10, 15, 20 minutes. Now I've got my stuff down to a science. Like we tell most people, you got to, if you want to get opportunity, you got to spend, you'll probably start about an hour a day.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about your whole day.
Right.
You got to be able to spend about an hour a day, because like, I want to be able to go in. You only have 400 connection requests that you can send a month on LinkedIn because of marketers like us in the past that have blown out, spammed everybody. They put limitations in place because people were like, I don't want to get spammed anymore. And like, that's cool. Like LinkedIn's trying to be better.
Right.
So we also get spammed. Don't worry. But this is how I shifted it, right? Like, okay, well, I got 400 connection requests. That's 100 a week. That's 20 a day. You're telling me that you can't, if you had it set up where you had your ideal list, you can't have a copy and cut message that's almost that comes off very well, that allows you to go in or have your VA go in and send 20 connection messages every single day, Monday through Friday.
Anyone could do that, unquestionably. I could do it. An assistant could do it 100%.
Yeah. So like that's the whole piece, right? Like I just want to break everything down for a bit. So like when I'm doing this, I want to be intentional, Roy, right? So who looked at my profile? who engaged in my content, who posted great content. And it's a simple message. They just want to reach out and say thank you. When we thank someone for something they take for granted, it creates a stopgap in their pattern.
Right.
Yeah, oh my God.
Nobody else is doing it. Yeah.
Right. Rather than going, oh my God, Tillman, you wear shirts? Me too. Let's connect.
Right.
So there's two things, if I can. So first off, Tillman, obviously we're here to hear Joshua's opinion and his success and how he does things.
Totally.
I also want to say, like, for you, because I feel like maybe I'm a baby step ahead of you, and I don't mind engaging in social. For me, I needed a system. I needed an upgrade to my operating system to go, what's the cool way to reach out to people that doesn't feel cold and scummy?
Right.
Yeah. And Joshua, the next part of it is the fact that you just said, hey, say thank you to someone. I literally signed up for a $10,000 program because a year ago, and it took a year for me to do it, but a year ago, somebody who added me as a friend and I commented on his post literally reached out and said, hey, thanks for the engagement on my post.
Yeah.
I really like what you had to say. And then we just started a natural conversation versus the DMs that I get every single day, including this morning, was, hey, Rory, I'm sure you get this a lot, but are you ready to take on new clients?
Right.
We already knew it was going to be a pitch when they said, I'm sure you get this a lot.
Right.
And so, like, normally I would get pissed off at the person for doing that. And today I literally said, hey, I appreciate you coming at me and wanting to be direct and make an offer. I'll let you know where I'm at. Yes, I can take on more clients, but right now I'm looking for referrals and JV partners. I'm not looking to have a conversation with somebody who's then going to pitch me on a 5 to 10K program that's going to teach me how to do it and rely on me to do it. I'm a little busy for that right now.
That's right.
So it's all trial and error, and ultimately an operating system.
And this is that whole piece, right? Like, people want to be, sometimes you got to be direct, but like going in there, right? Like, hey, thanks for looking at my profile. I'd love to find out why you look me up. Stone unturned, right? They looked you up. There's a reason. Either they're looking for you or someone like you.
Yep.
They engaged on your content, right?
Right.
Hey, Rory, just want to reach out and say thank you for engaging. I'd love to ask you what pushed you to engage, right? Again, we're trying to make them the expert. People love to be experts, right? Love to be asked why they did something.
That's right.
You know, ooh, Rory cares about me, right? Like, and so like they jump in, right? Like, oh, this is amazing. Or, hey, saw your post, man. Thank you. Really love what you added there. So like, that's that initial connection message, right? So different than everything else. This is where everyone messes up. They connect. Everyone goes, oh, time to pitch. Yes. No, you already ruined it, right? So my mom always taught me, like, when I meet someone new, you know, you give them a compliment, right? Like, dude, Roy, love the freaking Grogo picture behind you, brother. Like, it's sick, you know? Or tell me, man, you're styling your hair amazing these days. I mean, it's just, I go up, you go down. I mean, it's one of those things. But like, so it's a compliment on LinkedIn. And what we're doing, and this is how years ago, on another podcast, they gave me the name, the dopamine dealer of LinkedIn. People go, oh, dopamine bad. Well, dopamine actually puts you in flow state, allowing you to build a faster connection with somebody. If you're using it the right way, most social medias are just trying to keep you going.
Right.
So like that first connection, that thank you, it's a dopamine hit, right? They connect. And I'm always looking for triggers. They're taking action first. They posted, they engage, I connect, say thank you. They connect. My turn. My mom taught me to be nice. I give them an endorsement on LinkedIn. It's at the bottom of your profile, like marketing, whatever it was. And LinkedIn goes, hey, Tillman, Josh endorsed you for marketing. Do you want to say thank you? Again, another little dopamine hit. It's not me saying it. LinkedIn sends the message.
Yeah.
And the reason we do this, people go, how can you endorse someone you don't know? Dude, the number one rule in my house with my kids is it's nice to be nice, right? Like, if we did that more, if we were just nice to people just for the sheer fact of being nice, just the world might be a better place.
It's true.
And this makes people feel good. And I know, like, sometimes they're like, oh, bullshit, but I'm just telling you, it works.
Well, and so if you're nice and you're genuinely nice, lo and behold, good things happen.
I love this because it's funny. Yes, you know, we've mentioned a couple times that, like, you know, we're kind of older than a lot of other people right now, but it's amazing how simple that is and how far gone I feel like that simple little thing is missing right now in our community is just being nice, doing the basics,
right?
Like the golden rule, right? Like,
but that's that whole thing, Rory. Like y'all are asking like how to be able to go through this, and I'm just following those golden rule basics, right? And I think we're going back to that because again, appreciate, connect, right? They've taken action, appreciate, connect. Once they connect, we compliment. Once they respond, they go, hey, do you want to say thank you? They hit that button, makes it easy. They tell them, thank you so much for endorsing me for marketing. Right. Now it opens now again internally as in a psyche aspect. They've started the conversation. It's flipped the script. It's not you going to them. They're the ones that started the conversation because they're saying thank you. Hey, tell them, dude, no problem. Happy to do it. Hey, by the way, I love how people think. Like, a quick question for you, right? Now I can, again, I'm asking about them so I can then provide value in the right space. By doing these little things, they're little dopamine hits, building a commonality and connection of us just having a conversation. So like with Dan Sullivan, like the question we ask, and Joe loved this as well too, is after we endorsed someone, it was like, hey, of course, happy to offer the endorsement. Hey, quick question for you. While we have you, again, I was doing we, because again, I was doing that subtle, even though it's coming from Dan, people can take their own direction, right? Oh, they can believe it's from Dan, or we drop like certain, plurals to be able to say if they go, is this Dan or is this the team? As we have you, as it helps us understand how to add value through understanding your mindset. Do you consider yourself an entrepreneur or a business owner with an entrepreneurial mindset? Simple as that. Not asking money. I'm not going through, but that gives me a lot of information, y'all. That entrepreneur early on in their career or 20-year entrepreneur, dude, you've been burning the candle at both ends. We all know being an entrepreneur is exhausting. You're in hustle mode all the time if you consider yourself an entrepreneur. Business owner with an entrepreneurial mindset, now I understand they think differently. They probably have a team. They've been doing this for a little bit longer and they value their time. Or I get silent answer C, because it happens. We're not always going to be 100% targeted every single time, because we're sometimes reaching out to people on our profile. I work for somebody else. What that allows us to be able to do is to add value and understand where they're at in their opportunity. And so we're not just giving value for value's sake. And so like when we do this on a scaled version, y'all, like my team always knows, or I know where those trigger points are. Oh, they respond to the endorsement, qualifying question. They respond to the qualifying question. Are we going to invite them to a webinar to understand more? Are we going to give them a free download of our book? Are we going to love to jump on a call and understand how they think on that? So it allows us to be able to keep on going through this conversation, and it becomes natural. And it's not just immediate. It's slow to start, and then it just grows. And dude, it's some of the conversations we have are phenomenal.
Yeah. I'm going to back up for a second, because you've mentioned something a couple times that I want to ask, but then we go somewhere else.
Sorry.
No, dude. This is gold. This is just how I talk, dude. Like I process map. You've mentioned AI agent a couple times.
Yeah.
And I don't know what that means. I mean, I think I do, but what exactly is an AI agent?
So, and look, I'm not going to tell you I'm the best AI person in the world. I'm still learning. It's funny when people are like, I'm an AI expert. I'm like, y'all, AI has been around for a bit, but like, I know some people that have been doing this. So like this, right? AI number, right? This is our AI agent. You talk about that. If anyone calls in here, like we've trained an AI voice agent. I think this is the way things are going. People want to be able to talk to another. And just like we used to have, the automatic, Manny chat, right? That was built into Facebook and everything else. But this is more where they're actually trained on voice, being able to go through, and if someone calls this number and says, hey, I want to do the intake form, my AI agent that's been trained on us, they can go in they can just call a number and say, hey, tell me everything about Josh. Tell me everything about Rachel. What Stand On Authority does. What's the coolest thing going on with LinkedIn, right? Like we trained it on all these things. And it's basically like an employee that I've trained up that someone can have a conversation. If they go in and call this number and take the intake form, it's going to take them through an information so I can get to know them, who they are, what they do, and the best way to help them. And then I can jump on a call with them for 15 minutes and give them some advice, not based on what I know, but based on who they are, and actually really. So it's doing that extra work. This is how we scale. You want to talk about getting shit done. If I got to hire people to do this all day, you know how long it took my team to do intake forms? It took an hour to do an intake form with somebody, to be able to understand who they are and ask the questions. This right here, we have clients like AWS, y'all. They don't have an hour during the middle of the day, top executives. So they can call this number that we have set up, and they'll call it at 10 o'clock at night when they have time, and just run through our intake form or our branding guidelines or whatever it might be. And then we get spit that information. Then my humans can then take the next step.
Wow.
You know, it's really interesting. I haven't called your secret AI number yet, but I will after this is over. I'm very curious. Does it sound like you?
This one is not. We call this, so y'all know, most people know me as Joshua B. Lee. And it just happened that when I got married, my wife, her last name was Bronstein, moved to her middle name. So now she is Rachel B. Lee, and we are the B. Lees, and we've got our brand, The Family. Right?
That's funny.
We're crushing it on everything. So when you call in, you'll talk to Alice B. Lee.
Okay, cool.
And so, it's no one wants to talk to me all day. I mean, I've got something else I'm playing around with that is me, though. We've got a new I think training is going to go out the window. We talk about AI agents. I'm working with a company called Delphi. They're actually one of our clients as well. And we've got an AI Joshua that we'll actually have as an access point rather than going into our LinkedIn training. When we launch it, you'll be able to have an interactive conversation with me based on what you want, what you need, and how you learn.
Instead of pre-recorded training. I hadn't even considered that, dude. That's really good. I want to.
Yeah, that's coming out in a couple of months.
Yeah, I want to talk with you about what platform you're using for that at some point.
Dude, Delphi is amazing. Dara over there is the owner. Yeah, DELPHI. But I mean, I can connect you. Amazing individual, what they're doing, and some of the people he's working with are phenomenal. And I'm blessed to, be able to call him a friend, but actually one of our clients, and be able to work with his stuff as well.
That's cool. Yeah, I'm seeing, Delphi.ai, right? Yep. AI clone experts.
Yep.
Yeah. I've always, way before the AI revolution hit, I always had this idea of creating the Telmandroid. And, so
he's got it on the backside too, Telman. Like they've already got it built in where they can help you monetize it, where they actually, rather than just going through and you have to figure out how to package it, how to be able to go in. Like there's a lot of other AI clones out there. He's actually built a system that now you can actually go in and give monthly access at a price into the AI clone. That speeds up the process for everybody. It's really cool.
That is cool.
Yeah, like this AI number. This is one of our other partners, Nucleus, nucleus.com. And I mean, they are the largest Canadian telecom, privately owned telecom. And he basically said, look, I've got access to this telecom and all these numbers. Like I'm going to turn to AI, and what he's doing over there is awesome. I mean, it's saving us massive time and just an onboarding, being able to understand someone's brand and being able to just not be limited by a 9-to-5 call.
Cool. No, there's a very well-known marketer in our space, marketer and entrepreneur who's crushing it on a fairly large scale at the moment, that I've heard, this is all grapevine, but that I've heard is successfully closing $9,000 sales strictly through AI Messenger.
Okay.
Right. So AI Messenger calls that are doing high ticket messenger sales successfully right now. And so
I hear that a lot too. I like to see it. We've all seen it before. All the people that talk about this, and all of a sudden you meet them, they're like, "Hey, dude, can I borrow $5 for dinner?"
That's right. So who knows? But things are getting better and better. And if you're talking about getting shit done and using AI to get shit done, finding ways of cloning yourself with an AI version that can do almost as good, sometimes even better than you can. That's what we're exploring here, right? And sometimes better means 24/7 phone number where you can call and talk to somebody.
Well, Tillman, here's the thing, and I won't talk too much more than this. I know we're coming close to time, but Gareb, my friend that was the founder of Comic-Con, we were having this conversation because we've all heard actors are pissed off, these AIs coming in to be able to replace them. We won't need actors anymore. We don't need the extras because they're going to use AI to superimpose them in. And I said, yeah, that's a big problem. He goes, yeah, but here's the thing. Let's say it's Chris Hemsworth.
Yeah.
If he doesn't, someone else will. And what this allows him to be able to do is be in multiple places. Right now, if they're filming a movie, he can only work on that one movie. He cannot work on another movie at the same time. But if he creates it allows that AI persona, that avatar, to be able to come in, that clone, and be him in another movie. Now he can actually optimize his time, and he's not going to lose that opportunity to someone else. And here's the bigger thing. And I'll give Gareb again this shout out, because he goes, look, we're going to hit a world where content, media, everything, you're going to have AI created and human created. And you're going to be able to choose between the two. You'll probably pay a premium more for the human because it takes more time.
That's right. That's right. That's the whole thing, is that I think as things keep rolling and AI continues to explode, which it inevitably will. Yeah. Human connection is going to become more and more and more valuable.
100%.
If you plant the seeds now.
Yeah.
Right. Like your connection with your friends, with your family, and the individuals that you're doing, like face-to-face real world connection, is going to become so much more rare and so much more valuable.
Yeah. This is so interesting. So when you brought up the 24/7 agent working, I immediately thought, again, going back to the older days of the internet. Remember when you would buy a product and before you opened it, you were supposed to call a 1-800 number?
Totally.
Oh yeah.
But it was one way. Now you've got, I don't even know if 2 ways the right way to do it, because it could be a choose your own adventure, I guess.
And we have that in that AI agent, that phone number. They can go through. I want to go through the branding. I want to, like, it really is a choose your own adventure. And it amazing. Adjusts based on how they're answering the questions too. So like, I don't even have to train up an employee multiple different times in another country half the time. Yeah.
So sidebar, with your AI agent, if I call that phone number, let's say I don't know what I want. Like, hey, this is Alice B. Lee. How can I help you today?
Yeah.
Well, are there prompts to say you can talk to me about this, or do I literally have to say, hey, Alice, I have no idea what to ask you right now. How can you help me?
There are. Yeah. It'll give you different prompts. So you're looking to learn more about LinkedIn, about standard authority. It'll go through. Like, it's pretty awesome. And another thing we're planning to play with. So, we talked about the video more, AI clone, but we're also planning and playing on with, like, let's say it's going to be, I'm thinking like maybe $99 a month. We'll create a phone number. It'll be the AI agent. It'll be my voice being able to go in. You can call it, being able to ask what's going on, the newest things right now, anytime you need to, but also you can actually be able to register for daily text messages. Hey, this is what's going on. This is what, like being able to be in connection with someone. The AI agent will be going through and putting out new different pieces, big hits, what's going on, keeping everyone updated and connected. And so that's something else we're trying to play with right now, Rory, because you're right. Like, old days of training, being able to go in, like, press 1 for this, press 2 for that. Like, no one wants that shit anymore. Right. So like, they want to be able to have this interaction, and, I don't have the time for it. And that's the biggest problem when you build a personal brand. People always want to work with the Tellman. They want to work with Rory, right? Well, guys, we got to be able to optimize our time. How do we do that? Well, hey, you guys want to work with me? Awesome. I'm X, right? But you can access to my AI clone on the phone or via the video for a lot less. Now we're being able to build a bigger brand and have better connection with a larger audience that we never would have made time for before. I'm not trying to act like an asshole saying that, but it truly is. Like, the only reason why we're on this call now is because we have been optimized our world for our time. And most people don't. They don't respect their own time, but they expect others to respect it. And that's the thing. If you don't respect I tell my kids all the time, you want to get respect, you have to start with respecting yourself first.
That's right.
Because you can't expect someone else to respect you if you don't have respect for yourself. And most entrepreneurs don't have respect for the value of what they offer or their time, and that's why they fail.
Bold. I like it.
Shit.
That's what I have to say.
This is why I piss off some people too. So,
No, straight up. So this has been a really, really great discussion today, dude. So I really encourage you guys to check out Joshua's secret AI agent number. You can give him a call, and you can talk to Alice.
And we just launched this. We just launched this, y'all. So like, I'm not going to tell you it's perfect, but it's going to be fun. And like, seriously, like, anyone that goes through it, I will get on a phone call with them tell me what you like, what you didn't, and I'll even take time out to be able to actually talk about how, we'll do a LinkedIn profile review, whatever it is. Like, seriously, like, people calling this and checking it out helps me, right? So to let me help them at the same time by going through this, and we'll all level up together.
That's awesome, dude. That's awesome. So, guys, follow Joshua B. Lee on LinkedIn if you're not already, whether you're an entrepreneur or you simply want to become far better at using LinkedIn in order to make connections and grow your dreams, whatever they are. He really knows his LinkedIn shit, and I would recommend that you pay close attention to what he writes and says. Guys, this has been an awesome episode. Rory, thank you. Joshua, thank you. Thank you to all of our viewers. Lori, thanks for all of the comments. Sorry we didn't get to answer all of your questions. Hopefully we will in the not too distant future. Lots of questions from Lori and about advertising, Rory. We can address in the not too distant future. Yeah. Liz, hello. Good to see you. I didn't throw your comment up there, so I'll throw it up there now.
Next time I'll shut up and stop talking and actually listen. Like, we just talked about listening to everybody, and then we just stop.
Well, in all fairness, dude, I'm gonna say it. Like, this was the purpose of today's episode, right? Was to let you talk, and it was to get your insight and your experience. And I almost said the point of this was to be selfish, which is just so fucked up to say, but I mean, let's be honest. There were things I wanted to know, and then you threw out some nuggets that I was like, fuck it, we're going deep here. I have questions. I want to understand this.
Yeah.
Because it's amazing. I've seen people jump onto the AI bandwagon, if you will, for years now, and I've been like, yeah, this isn't it. And now I'm starting to see it going, holy shit, I'm years behind. And you've been able to help mold that in 45, 50 minutes. So thank you for taking the time that you did to talk.
Well, brother, again, for you and Tillman too, like, anything, if you guys, want to meet, connect to some of the people that I'm working with, stuff like that, I always got y'all's back. I mean, you two are, I'm not here to be able to help people just monetize the web. I spent my years doing that, damn near killed myself, concentrating that. Like, I want to be able to work with the people that are truly adding value to this world. And you two are good human guys. I mean, just good human guys. Like, what am I saying? Amazing humans. Great guys.
We're real humans, damn it.
And everyone just realized that you're not talking to Josh, it's with AI, because my glitch just kicked in.
That's all right. That's all right.
You are real. You are real, authentic human guys.
Oh God, how else are we ever in this? This is perfect.
I love it.
That's
cool.
Awesome.
Joshua, I for one will definitely call your number and follow up with you on it. And I'll do it pronto. I'm really looking forward to checking it out.
Cool. Tellman, I'm gonna make a suggestion.
Hit it.
I almost feel like we should do it on air. So, like, maybe go Facebook Live a little later and do the call on air.
Rip it apart, guys. Like, again, this is what I need, right? Like, great. I'm not shy to be able to go and be like, oh, Josh, this works, or this, like, this is the biggest problem. People are so scared of criticism. Like, I feed on it, right? Like, that helps me be better. So guys like you that have been doing this for a long time, like, if y'all don't get it, the average person's not going to get it. So, like, that's cool, man. I love that.
You want to do it right now, or do you have to go?
Try.
You want to do it right now?
Let's.
Do either one of you have to hop? We're at the hour, but if you can stay on a little longer,
I don't mind.
All right,
I'm very blessed. My wife took the kids to school this morning, so I could talk to y'all.
That's right. Okay, here it comes. Here, let me see. Let me find that number again. It should be in the comments.
You've thrown it up on screen a couple times.
Yeah, I did, but like the StreamYard interface is being clunky right now, and whatever. So hold on.
512-808-4132.
Thank you very much.
Hi,
Here I was thinking I could help out by scrolling through the frickin' chat to find it when I could have just literally said, "Hey Joshua, tell us your damn number." Like, there's the source.
I'm gonna be honest. Sorry, I didn't know the number either. I looked at the comments and read it. I'm an honest guy.
That's fucking great, man. All right, here we go.
Thank you for reaching out to Standout Authority. Great. What would you like to know or discuss today?
I would like to know how to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
I'm here to assist you with inquiries related to Standout Authority. Would you like information on our services or perhaps schedule a call?
Oh, I'd love information on your services.
We offer several service levels. Our Work Your Brand service is $5,500 per month. The Signature service is $7,500 per month. And our Elite service is $10,000 per month. We also have a LinkedIn Growth Accelerator and an Authority Builders program for a one-time payment of $5,000. Let me ask a few questions to get started. May I have your full name?
My full name is Telman Harold Knudsen.
I hope you're still with me.
Oh, I am.
Thank you, Telman. Which program interests you the most? It sounds like you're interested. Could you please specify which program you are interested in? It seems like you might be in the middle of your response. Take your time.
I'm interested in your free program.
I appreciate your interest. However, we currently offer paid services. Would you like to hear more about our programs or perhaps schedule a call to discuss?
I'm a hypnotist. Can your program help me?
Absolutely. Our services can help you build your personal brand and grow your influence as a hypnotist. Would you like to proceed with the intake questions to see how we can best support you?
Yeah, throw a couple intake questions at me.
Great. This should take just a few minutes. Please answer as best as you can. Let's begin. What is your preferred contact email?
Telman@thewealthmethod.com.
Got it. What is your current job title?
Hypnotist.
Thank you. Which industry do you work in?
Personal development.
Thank you for that. How many years of experience do you have in your field?
25.
That's impressive. What is the biggest challenge you face in your profession?
Getting new and more clients.
Thank you for sharing that. What professional skills do you consider your strengths?
I'm a hypnotist, hypnotherapist, wealth hypnotist, public speaker, presenter.
Got it. Do you engage in any professional networking events? Why or why not? Thank you for that. It sounds like you have a diverse skill set. Do you actively use LinkedIn for professional growth?
Yeah, but not that much.
Understood. What type of content do you find most valuable on LinkedIn?
I don't know. I don't really consume that much content on LinkedIn.
That's okay. What are your main goals for your LinkedIn presence?
I want to use my LinkedIn profile in order to generate more clients and customers.
That's a great goal. Who is your ideal target audience on LinkedIn?
Entrepreneurs.
Thank you. Are there any topics or audiences you prefer to avoid?
How many more questions are you going to ask me?
I have a few more questions to help us understand your needs better. Would you like to continue?
No.
Stop.
We can talk more
Thank
about
you for
that.
your
We can
time.
talk more later. Yeah.
Hang up. You were sitting forever.
Okay. Enjoy your day.
What do you guys think? First initial. I mean, there's some glitches, of course, but I think
no. It's great. I mean, it was a fun experience, right? Yeah. I felt I felt that listing the price points in the first 30 seconds of the call was a little poorly placed. It felt like,
I think
no
that when
idea
you asked about that was weird. Yeah, I heard it too, and I was like, why are we throwing the price points? But at the same time, too, I'll go back and look at that. But yeah,
it's rough draft, dude. It's draft one. It's totally fine. You know,
it was really cool. I'll tell you, it was really cool. I agree with Telman though. that was the first thing that I was like, wait a second, you're telling me about the price and the name of the tier, but not what it can do for me or what it's about. That was weird.
Yeah. And that I had to look and see why that's prompting that way and why it's not going into the deeper tiers. So no, that's always good information. Look, I don't think anyone's ever told it's a hypnotist and, been able to go through that way.
No, I was throwing it some curveballs on purpose, right? I found that, well, obviously it thought I answered a few questions that I didn't answer, and I didn't have any background noise going on here, and you guys didn't make any noise either. So
we've seen that happen a couple of times. Yeah.
Picking up a little ambient computer noise or something. I'm not sure. And then I would definitely, because calling a phone number and having a conversation with an AI is a new-ish kind of a thing. And as they get more fluid and more snappy, it's going to be even newer. And so I would definitely, I would have some cool free resources available to email them or text them as part of the conversation. Just classic, like reciprocity kind of stuff.
Yeah. We've got some of that stuff built in. It all depends on how the conversation goes. So yeah,
I did have a question as well. So when she asked for Tellman's email and he said Tellman@thewealthmethod.com, how accurate is it at coming up with the right email without repeating it, going, can you spell that for me? Or
so far we've done really well. And the good thing is I can actually go back in and it'll actually give me the voice clips if I need to be able to listen back into it.
That's awesome.
Great.
Yeah.
That's really cool. Because, dude, believe it or not, one time Tellman and I were at an event that he hosted, or we hosted in Hartford, and I called in for dinner and I put it under the name Tellman Knudsen. And I'll have to find the screenshot, but it was like Tellman XNOPQ. And I'm like, real? Like, that's what I saw when we got there.
Could you spell that a little bit?
No.
I don't know. I've never had that issue. I just say Josh Lee. Usually it works out.
That's
okay.
right. That's
pretty straightforward, dude.
Nice.
No, guys, this is fun. And I appreciate y'all calling in because, it's new. And like, that's that whole piece. That's what I said. Like, this is all brand new territory that no one's playing in yet. And you know what? I have no problem going in there because, like, look, if not me, then someone else is going to do it. So that's kind of where I look at it.
That's right.
So I'm going to do something for our audience. This is a natural way of who I am, but I'm also going to like tip my hat to you, Joshua, for kind of calling this out and making this the theme. I want to let the audience know, like, this might be the coolest part of the interview right now, where we're giving you feedback and you're taking it like an absolute rock star.
Yeah, without like getting defensive or whatever.
Yeah, you're not getting defensive. You're not. Like, you're literally going, bring it on. Here's this super successful guy that has literally name dropped, and with class, right, with tact, about companies he's worked with, success he's had, sneakers he owns, and you're just taking it so well, which is awesome, and that's how I think most people should be. And my point is, not a lot of people are that way.
Right.
Oh, dude,
so thanks for being awesome.
I wish I could say I was always that way, but I mean, like, look.
Well done today. Well done today. Right here, right now.
I faked it really well today. Thank God. No, seriously, guys, you're right. Thank you. That's all I want. I mean, like, I get more out of someone telling me, hey, because dude, how much money have we all wasted being in a freaking box trying to build something and not taking any feedback from someone?
Yeah.
Like, I don't have the time. I'm getting older now. I don't have the time to do that shit anymore. Like,
that's right.
I want to be able to make sure I optimize my time. And that's not just my perspective. I need to be able to understand my audience and what they think, because they've got their own insights that I never even think about. And just like with you guys have you guys grew up differently, ran different businesses. Like, you're going to give me insights like I will miss every freaking single time. So it's gold.
That's it.
Awesome, man.
That's it. Cool. All right. This was an awesome episode. Thank you, Joshua. Thank you, Rory. Thank you, audience. If you're not already a member of the Get Shit Done cult, get over to getshitdone.com and join us. We'll give you a bunch of hypnosis sessions so we can brainwash you into absolute productivity when you join the Get Shit Done show.
Did you hear him say? Did you hear him say brain rot at first? Because that's what I heard.
Brain rot. We'll brain rot. We'll brainwash, and we'll hypnotize you all in one move. No, if you want to get more shit done, go to getshitdone.com. You can thank me later.
Awesome. Thank you, guys. This was great.
Bye.
Rock and roll. Thanks, everybody. See you tomorrow morning. Toodles. And we can make funny faces